Citizens of the nation, what is going on, guys? Sly here, and hope you made room on the hard drive because tomorrow we are all downloading a huge pre-patch for Rise of Iron. It's 18 gigs and it's coming out September 8th, so get ready for that. Speaking of ready, let's talk about the different ways that you can prepare for Rise of Iron. There are a lot of different guides out there from a lot of different people, and just like one of my Division viewers said, it's best to watch each of them and build something that fits your playstyle from all of those ideas. That is exactly what YouTube is about, pulling all of your resources together and making what's best for you. So in this video, I want to go over everything that you should be doing to get ready for Rise of Iron. The last 3 days are literally the most crucial. So unless you're doing marathon runs, there's no way you can get 3 characters edged and filled in that amount of time. So it's best to get your 2 alternates as close as possible and then do your main last. That way, if you end up overranking, you can just keep playing until the release to make sure you have everything sorted out. Alright Guardians, let's get started. First and foremost, you'll want to save every exotic engram you can. Now, if you're chasing a certain weapon, like a primary exotic or something like that, only open up exotic primaries and throw the rest of them in the vault. The Taken King and the April update introduced a smart loot system. Rise of Iron is using that exact same system and they're not redoing anything. The only thing that's happening is that the loot tables will be shifting, growing bigger, adding in Rise of Iron exotics, and for legendaries, taking out old Taken King stuff and adding in new weapons, new armor, etc. If you stocked up on engrams before the April update, you could have gotten some new stuff that was added back into the loot table after that update happened. And this should be the exact same way in Rise of Iron. There's a chance that it might not work, but here's the thing. Even if we don't receive new exotics, the old one that will drop will be way higher than what we have to start out with. You can infuse them right away or just wear them instantly for an instant light boost. Here recently, Deej was being interviewed, and after being asked specifically if Taken King exotic engrams will decrypt into Year 3 exotics, he said that he wanted to keep it a secret. Usually, Bungie's pretty good about letting players know if something's going to end up wasting their time or not, and they'll just flat out tell you that no, it's not going to work in Year 3. But of course, telling everyone, yeah man, go ahead and start stacking up all the engrams you want so you don't have to play as much when it comes out. I mean, come on, they're not going to tell you that. So I have a pretty good feeling that everything will work out as planned. In the Taken King, exotic engram decrypt at a minimum of 280. In Rise of Iron, they will also decrypt at a set level, and it's going to be way higher than 335. So at the odd chance Taken King engrams don't decrypt into new exotics, the ones you do get will be way higher than your current ones, and frankly, that's just as good. This is something you guys need to start working on as soon as possible. Exotic engrams don't drop every day, so make sure you guys get on that. Next up, let's talk about the smalls. Now, if this is your first time playing Destiny at a content drop, and by the way, April update definitely doesn't count as a content drop, then you're in for one of the best community events in Destiny. Everyone's pumped, everyone has speculation, ideas, excitement. Besides the raid, it's the next best thing about Destiny. But there are things in Destiny that you take for granted, and still do to this day, myself included. Those are materials. Right now, if you need planetary materials, you can just go buy them. Need weapon parts? Off to the gunsmith. However, when all this new stuff starts to drop and vendors start to sell powerful new weapons, the system you're used to is pretty much tossed out the window. You're going to be upgrading and buying so much stuff that you will no longer have legendary marks to buy planetary materials. You've already done all your weeklies to earn legendary marks, so there aren't any until next week. You're out of Glimmer because you've been buying so many new test weapons and upgrades, speaker stuff, Evil Levante stuff, so that's gone. And now you can't buy weapon parts. This is absolute shitsville, guys. All the new stuff and no way to upgrade it, and it will absolutely happen. We all take Glimmer for granted, but it's tied into absolutely everything in the game. Same goes for planetary materials. If you still have activities left that drop legendary marks, start stocking up on planetary materials. Keep 100 of each kind with you, and the rest start chucking them into the vault. A cushion of even 200 extra of each kind will save you in a pinch, and trust me, it will happen. Now let's talk about Glimmer. There are these things that you turn into the Cryptarch, just by spamming buttons. You see them on the screen, you don't really read or care about it, but they absolutely save you. And those are like network keys, house banners, stuff like that. Start stacking these in the vault as well and get used to using Glimmer consumables. Black Wax Idols, Ether Seeds, Blue Polyphates, the Cabal credit card, all of those. If you're fighting, you could be replenishing Glimmer. And at the start of Rise of Iron, if you're a hardcore player, you will most likely run out pretty soon. Having that stuff in the vault is like cash in the bank. Just grab some, turn them into the Cryptarch, and you're G to G. If you've been around a while, you can also turn in your old Year 1 raid stuff like Radiant Shards or Ascendant materials. Those can be exchanged into Glimmer and Motes of Light in case of an emergency. Alright, so while we're talking about it, Motes of Light and Strange Coins. Unless you're getting all your characters to 335 still, I would stop using Motes of Light to upgrade stuff from here on out. Whatever you're upgrading right now is going to be completely obsolete in 2 weeks, and you'll be upgrading total outfits of armor. 3 hours later, you're going to be upgrading a whole nother set. You're going to blow through Motes of Light like absolutely nothing, and upgrading now really isn't needed. Speaking of not being needed, that brings me up to my next thing, and that is my boy Xur. While I do love that kelp-faced bastard, stop using him now. Unless you're stocking up on 3 of coins or you see an exotic you absolutely need to have, you want to start stockpiling Strange Coins. The first Friday you see this guy, he might have a brand new weapon, new armor, maybe even both, but the engrams is where it's at. Once I figure out all the new exotics, when the update gets dropped, there will be some that I'll just have to get my hands on. And engrams are an easy way to do that. They are expensive, but when you finally land on it, it's totally worth it. When the Taken King launched, I spent 800 Strange Coins I saved up from Year 1 on a helmet engram. I was trying to get the Warlock exotic Astrocyte Verse helmet, which was shown in tons of Taken King trailers, but ended up not being in the loot table. It's actually coming out with Rise of Iron. On the plus side, I had every new exotic helmet in the game and my light level shot up dramatically. The downside is I've been catching up on Strange Coins ever since, not having any more than like 200 at one time. So from now on, save up on Strange Coins so that way you can spend them the first Friday Xur pops his head in during Rise of Iron. It is always absolutely worth it. 3 of coins, you can start saving, but you'll always be able to get more. Just hide 10 or 20 in the vault just as a backup. It's also a good idea that as your warm-up activity, the first time you log in for the day from now on, just jump in old school Prison of Elders. You usually get between 7 and 10 Strange Coins per run. I've had as many as 14, but that's not an everyday thing. If you're waiting on somebody, just do another prison run real quick. Jump in twice a day, and by the time 2 weeks goes by, you'll have hundreds of extra Strange Coins ready to go on top of whatever else you earn. Alright guys, the next topic is called edging. The instant Rise of Iron is live, you'll be able to not only get new loot, but instantly increase your light level. Edging is the process of completing activities that give out XP, but stopping just short of ranking up on a specific faction. All factions that you're going to want to see, like the Crucible, Vanguard, Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, and Future War Cult, will all have new weapons and armor. They might even have new ships, shaders, ornaments. You never know what's coming, and ranking up day 1 is a good way to get your hands on all this new stuff before anyone else. If you can only do one thing in this guide, edging is what I recommend the most. First things first, keep an eye on your factions when you're edging. The ones you're shooting for, like I said, Crucible, Vanguard, and one of the 3 factions. Now, I'm not sure about House Judgment, but it is the easiest of them all to edge up, and since it uses the smart loot principle, just like the others, the weapons might rise in light. Not sure, but if they do, they will be pure infusion material. What you want to do is start out with your alternate characters and start doing anything with XP. Grab bounties every day, do patrol missions, Vanguard strikes, Nightfall, Crucible bounties, daily or weekly Crucible matches, etc. Keep an eye on your level because it is super easy to go over one level and not the other. What you're going to try to do is get all your factions to within a few hundred points from ranking up. That's Crucible, Vanguard, and your selected faction. Once you have all of them edged up, and all 3 of them are close, wait for new Vanguard and Crucible bounties. Complete all of them, but do not turn them in. Repeat this with your 2 alternate characters and put them away a day before Rise of Iron. Then try to do that with your main character as well before logging out the day before Rise of Iron. Once you come back in, First, open up half of your exotic engrams. Exotics will have a minimum light level that they will drop at. Taken King was 280, and whatever it will be in Rise of Iron is going to be way over what you're at now. So open up half, or if you didn't save a lot, then just open them all. Use them or infuse to get yourself to the highest light possible, and then turn in all your bounties. Turning in all those saved bounties will rank you up in the Crucible, the Vanguard, and your chosen faction. That's 3 chances to get new armor, weapons, ships, sparrow shaders, the works, and they will all be at a higher light level than anyone else in the game. While everyone else is starting the campaign at 335, you're going to be starting out way above that, and everything that drops from you will drop anywhere from 2 to 6 light levels higher than what you currently are at that point. So just keep infusing all the new stuff you get into your favorite weapons and armor, and you're going to have a huge leg up over everyone else. It's an awesome feeling, guys, and you'll probably get a bunch of messages asking how you rose up so quickly or where you got that new weapon from. Now, depending on how high the exotic drops in Rise of Iron, you can open the rest once you're higher than that, or just open them all up and see what's inside. It's really not that big of a deal. If you edged up House Judgment, keep a few bounties with you as well, and then just turn them in to see if Variks is also keeping with the times. So here's what I'm going to do day 1. I'll log in and start pulling all my exotic engrams from the vault and start turning them in. Wear what you can and infuse what you don't need to try to get your light level as high as possible. After that, I'll turn in all my bounties and rank up on all of my factions. I'll open one package at a time. If I get something good and higher than what I currently have, I'll throw on the new higher light item, and then I'll walk over to the next faction that I ranked up in, open that package, equip what I can, and then finally open the last package and do the same. After that, I'll then switch characters and turn over all the edge factions on my alternate, doing it the same way, equipping the highest stuff before opening the next package. You're going to have 9 chances at new weapons or armor from all the factions, and if your alternates get lucky and drop you some awesome stuff, you can put that in the vault so your main can use it in the campaign. You're going to have more new items in the first 10 minutes than most average players will have the first few hours. Guys, it is completely tedious, but totally worth it. The key here is to not overrank one faction when edging. If they are extremely separated, like if the Vanguard just ranked up, but you still have halfway to go in dead orbit, it might be wise to ally yourself with another faction, and then after a week goes by, realign yourself with dead orbit, but make sure you have the Vanguard roughly in the same spot XP-wise as dead orbit. So if you're halfway there before ranking up in dead orbit, make sure that your Vanguard is also ranked up at the halfway point before realigning with them. That makes everything even, and at least for your first few ranks, they're going to be roughly in the same position. This makes it much easier to manage, and you'll be able to edge them a lot faster. Time is very limited, guys, so if you need to do that, make sure you get it done here soon, because you'll have to wait a full week before switching back to whatever faction you left. There is still enough time to do it, but you're going to be cutting it close. Alright, ladies and gents, the last thing here, and that is vault space. Start clearing out everything you don't need. Or if it's a weapon you haven't touched in 8 months, as long as it's not a trophy weapon, then it might be time to part with it. Rise of Iron will have the largest amount of armor sets ever dropped in a single DLC. Weapons will be just as plentiful as the Taken King. This all takes space. So time to start making those tough decisions. Doubles, they're an obvious choice, as well as the common raid weapons. Rocket launcher, LMGs, artifacts, all those are expendable. Also, all those gunsmith weapons you always wanted to use but never touched, time for those to go as well. Even old exotics. Breaking down fully upgraded exotics grants you 2 exotic shards, and if you end up really needing it, you can just go back to the blueprint kiosk and you're good to go. Now, obviously, it's your choice to do all of this or none of this, but as an experienced player, I can assure you that this is all totally freaking worth it. Day 1 will be an awesome day, and you will instantly be able to point out who took the time to prepare and those who didn't. There's nothing wrong if you don't do it, but come on, man. Handfuls of new, never-before-seen loot on day 1? Count me in, bro. Alright guys, but that's it. Like I said, watch out when edging your factions. Don't forget about the smalls like backup glimmer, strange coins, backup planetary materials. We're going to be upgrading things every single day, all day for weeks to come, and that takes glimmer and planetary materials, armor materials, weapon parts. Start stocking up on all of them, because there will be a time when you're going to be out of one or the other. And if you're unlucky enough for it to be armor materials, or if it's something that you can buy with legendary marks, Don't be the guy that looks up and realizes you're already out of legendary marks with no activities left to cash in on. Stockpile now, no headaches later. Alright guys, it's a long one, but that is it. Like I said, you can choose to do some of this, all of this, or none. It's completely up to you, but I use this exact method myself, and it absolutely works wonders on day one. And I hope this helps y'all out too. Alright guys, I'm out of here. As always, thank you so much for watching and for supporting the smaller YouTuber. If you want to stay up to date on everything Destiny, Rise of Iron, or The Division, follow me on Twitter at SlyNation. It's the best place to keep up to speed on all the groundbreaking news as well as new uploads coming out of my channel. Pre-launch activities are less than a week away, and good luck to all of you out there in preparing for Rise of Iron. Keep an eye out for more vids coming out of SlyNation here very soon, but until then, this is your boy Sly. Done, gone, out.